All right, Semper Fi My Friends, welcome. We are trying a different platform tonight. Hopefully you can find us, you get a notification, and you get online with us live tonight. Tonight we're just going to talk about some of the past posts, a lot of great comments, a lot of great feedback over the last couple weeks. We've been hitting it pretty hard and getting a lot of feedback. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your patience while we do work through a couple of different aspects of our channel, building this community. Again, a lot of great comments, a lot of great support, and we just want to continue to grow. So if you do find us live tonight, we just started a couple minutes ago, pass it along. Whoever else you know that's on the channel, any more subscribers, get them on, pass the word, and let's see if we can do this. Again, a new system that we're using tonight. So appreciate your support and patience. One of the first ones we want to talk about was the most recent one is, the most recent one is that you, Chala? Good to see you, brother. Glad you're on. Good. Maybe you can help us out. We're going to talk about the last post about the president's own. Some great information on that one. Semper Fi Angel. So a lot of great information, a lot of additions to the, remember, these are shorts that I was given. So it's a quick 45 seconds on the president's own. Carlos, you're being notified now, brother. Welcome. So again, the president's own is the one that we were talking about recently. I'm a band guy. I love the band. Every unit's band, love them. The best part of a ceremony, a graduation, a retirement, a post and relief and appointment, change of command. Love the band. So huge fan of the bands. And someone told us about a story in one of the comments. They had a buddy that was trying out for the band. I did as well. Early on, we were Lance Corporals, and he was a drummer. He practiced every single night, drove us all crazy on the little practice pad inside the barracks, on his rack, every night. And he was good. He was amazing. He tried out for the band, the president's own, 4 years straight. Never made it. So that just shows you the level of professionalism and musicianship that they do have. So very, very tough. A couple comments like, they're not Marines. What? We call them Marines? I thought they were Marines. So again, there's a bunch of different, there's an ensemble, there's an orchestra, there's a marching band, there's different portions of the band. So the little known fact that I did pass was a portion of them they don't go through basic training. So although they have the privileges and the benefits of being called a Marine, I guess for one, housing, commissary use, exchange use and all that, it is because of their discipline and dedication and the motivation that they put into, again, their musicianship. And key to them is they're for the President of the United States and the Commandant of the Marine Corps. 1898 is when they're established, and they just continue year after year after year. Some of those guys, some of their performances all year long. I mean, they never stop. Someone asked about the Rose Parade. I wasn't sure about that, if they actually did play in the Rose Parade or not. But again, some portion of the Marine Band may. And that's the U.S. Marine Corps Band. Each unit, again, has their own. Marine Band San Diego, Parris Island has their own band. Camp Pendleton, Camp Lejeune, they all have unit bands as well. Marine Corps Base Hawaii has an awesome, awesome Marine Band. So even their uniforms are different. And one early post a long time ago, somebody talked about the Sergeant Major rank. There's also a Sergeant Major of the band, which was a different chevron as well. Has the harp in the middle. That's an E9. So these guys, most of them start out as an E6, Staff Sergeant. And they do get promoted. I'm not sure the promotion system, how it works. But it's we call them Marines? Someone told another story about how they ran into some Marines during a parade, and he got in a fight with the bandmaster. And I don't know if that's a way to go. He had a problem with pogues, is what he said. but they are musicians, the best in the world. That's why they get to do what they do. So awesome. That was a fun post to read all the comments on. The other one we were going to talk about, the most recent one. Which one were we going to talk about recently? The uniform ones. And we're making some more. So just some uniform tips. Love everything about the uniforms, the faded cami ones. That one was got a lot of attention as well. Love talking about uniforms and how Marines are fanatical, yes, about our uniforms as well. So taking care of them, maintaining them. Charlie, when you go, don't try to be the first one to get a faded set of camis. When you're young, Lance Corporal, that's the thing to do. That you want your camis to fade so it looks like you're salty and you've been in for a while. They get too faded, they're unserviceable. Once you start paying for your uniforms, once you've already used all your uniform allowance and you have to pay for them out of your own pocket, that's when you realize maybe I should take care of these babies, turn them inside out when you wash them. Don't wash them too often. You don't want them to fade anymore. They look a lot more squared away when they're fresh, crisp, clean, and as dark as you can get them. Funny transition. Again, I don't remember when it happened for me, but I went from wanting to have faded camis and looking salty to I want some brand new camis. I'm going to take care of them the best of my ability. And the biggest key to the uniform, the camis, is when you do wash your blouse and trousers, you got to wash your cover. Right? You see a lot of Marines with faded camis, even a little bit, and then their cover still looks brand new because you spend all that time on your cover, pressing it out, starching, pressing, starching, pressing, starching. It looks good. You don't want to wash it because then you got to do it all over again. So do they have to go to the rifle range? Carlos, great question. I wonder if the Marine Band goes to the President's own. My guess, I don't think they do. All the other ones, the unit bands, in Desert Storm, a unit right to our left was a Marine Band. I don't remember which base they were from, but those guys, again, get selected from the unit. They join the band. Those guys, 100%, PFTs, rifle range, everything Marines do. They're Marines. So the President's own, though, Carlos, I imagine they don't. I think they spend all their waking hours practicing and performing and traveling and being prepared to play for the President or the Commandant of the Marine Corps. So I don't think so. If anyone knows, in the comments, let us know. Again, let us know who's all here. I'm looking down at the comments. Let us know where you're coming in from. And don't forget what you're drinking tonight. You know what I got? Grenade. A little protein. All right. Where are you joining from tonight? And again, thanks for being here. We're going for it. We're just trying a new platform, trying to get it working so we can plan these better, get the word out, and let everyone know. That's right, Carlos. Faded camis made you look salty. Again, when did you transition though and realize your actions, your rank, and your performance let everybody know that you're salty? The faded camis, again, we look back now, where you're trying to fake the funk, like we know you've only been in 2 years, you're still a PFC or Lance Corporal. But the faded camis, you go to the field all the time. That's why my camis are faded. When did that transition happen where you wanted to have squared away camis? The old black boots, the same way. Wanted to keep those babies look like you were working there. I go to the field, that's why my boots are messed up. No, you had to take care of them. A special set just for garrison wear. And those you don't know, you're either in the field or you're in garrison. Garrison is on base, right, where you need to look sharp and squared away. In the field, that's what I should tell my Marines all the time. Care what you look like in the field, especially in combat, as long as the mission gets completed. But when you're in public, you have to present yourself on base where there's all kinds of people, civilians, family members, women and children. You got to look sharp. Cover squared away, uniform squared away, haircut, sleeves rolled down all the way. James 78, I'm trying to be a Marine. hopefully you've been following the channel. I do a lot on how to prepare for the Marine Corps, how to prepare for boot camp. Number one, and read the comments, those you're watching in, physical fitness. The more physically fit you are before you go to boot camp, the better you'll be. Because instead of being thrashed all the time, if you're a run drop, you can't pass the IST, the initial strength test. Once you pass that, you're good to go with everyone else. If you fail that, you're being dropped back to another training platoon until you can pass the IST, the initial strength test. Then they'll put you in training. So number one is physical fitness. Two would be any kind of drill that you know, marching. Hopefully you know your left from right. If you can stand at attention, left face, right face, forward march, do the basics. Again, one less thing you got to learn from scratch. If you're already talking to a recruiter, there's a recruiter office near where you live, start going to those. I'm going to guess all recruiters have pulley functions where they do PT, drill, knowledge. They just tell you everything, not everything, but the most they can tell you to prepare you for boot camp. Recruiters are awesome. They want you to succeed in boot camp just like we all do. And then knowledge, that would be the last one, Marine Corps knowledge, rank structure, leadership traits and principles, general orders. I'd highly recommend general orders and leadership traits and principles. All right, Hassan, love this channel. Been a while since I've heard some of this language. Semper Fi, brother. I'm telling you, it goes by quick. So that's part of the community too, is being around like-minded people, talking about stuff that we haven't talked about in a long time, or you haven't heard in a long time. If you're not near some kind of veteran service organizations, that's what this channel is for. That's what this community is for. USMC Big B, Semper Fi My Friend. My son graduates Tuesday. Congratulations. Another Marine in the family. Please give him a Semper Fi My Friend, and then show him the channel so he can get on here. We can hear his stories, right? We want to know what's happening now in boot camp, and what better, shoot, a couple of days next week. Graduates on a Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Either way, get him on the channel. We want to hear from him as well. And congratulations to you for raising a stud like that. He obviously made it. What are some of the other posts that we got a lot of feedback on? Leadership. I always love to talk about leadership. So if you ever want to engage in some kind of leadership conversation, please let us know. MCA GCC, USMC, Chattanooga, Tennessee. All right. Where else? Let's hear where y'all coming from. Semper Fi Sergeant Major C.C. Ray from Queens, New York. And at work now. You're at work. It's Saturday night. You should be off partying. But at least you got to join us. So appreciate you being here. Everybody, again, if you're just joining us, my studio team and I, we just said, hey, let's go for it. Try this new platform and see how it works, see how it sounds, see how the comments work out. 420 Network, 1975. We had Gomer Pyle uniforms. Gomer Pyle, that's the Satines, right? The all green. I think those look pretty sharp when they're pressed out. I've never worn them. I'm not sure how they feel, how the fit is, but I like those. At RTR, Satin utilities were issued. We starched them to gray. I've heard that before. I think, yes, Bryce, I remember your comment about them looking gray. They quit issuing them around 78. Again, before my time, but were they comfortable? Were they useful? Were the pockets in the right spot? That's what I think we did best about the uniforms now. They tested them, I think, for at least 10 years. I remember as a young Marine, they gave our unit a set to test them, the MARPAT we have now. We wore them for about 6 months, gave them back, and filled out some stuff saying what we liked, what we didn't like. They changed some buttons to Velcro. They turned the pockets. They made some adjustments. I think they had knee pad, holes for knee pads in the knees and the elbows. I'm not sure if they still do, but they did. They worked a long time on that uniform, the one we get issued today. Big B says they moved up his graduation because, yeah, I guess so. That's my, well, nice. See, the Marine Corps does love us all. They moved it up for Christmas. Happy birthday. Was that Big O on there? Thought I saw Big O. Good evening, Robert. All right. Again, welcome, everyone. Welcome. There he is. All right. Big O. We're going to meet up again soon. Yuma, Arizona. How's the weather out there? Raining? Hot? Carlos West Covina, California. California, it's got to be pretty chill right now. Cool weather. Nampa, Idaho. Is that what that says? Nampa? Robert? Welcome. Again, welcome everybody. Mark, Central Florida. All right. Engineers up. That's right. Engineers, backbone of the Corps, right? Engineers, combat engineers. 2 MOSs in the Marine Corps have combat in front of them. It's not infantry. Combat engineers, and what's the other one? See who knows that one. Combat in the MOS name.
I think you asked that question.
I have. I've asked that before. It's pretty funny. Semper Fi Sergeant Major Pale Rider, there you are. Forever. All right, you Globe and Anchor. That's right. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome. Back on the leadership ones, sometimes my production team says not too much leadership because I get in that mode, right? When I want to start yelling at people about leadership. But it is awesome to hear different aspects of different styles of leadership. The last one I did, I think, was on not forgetting where you came from once you get to the top. Huge, very important, if you ask me. 420 Network says, my uniforms fit great. I didn't wear them often as a cook. You wore the, what they call the, is that Stoner Bob? Is that the, what do they call the coats? I don't remember. Some of us call them the ice cream uniform. So a messman, that's how my wife met me the first time I was on mess duty and I was wearing the ice cream uniform. It's not the first time, but she saw it shortly after that. So what, are you serving ice cream for the Marine Corps? But I was a messman. The cook wore the cool ones with the different buttons, different styles and name tags, right? Chevron on the cover, looking sharp. Brian Anderson, Merry Christmas. As an American, I give you my gratitude and admiration, sir. Thank you, Brian Anderson, Semper Fi, my friend. Where are you from? Where are you joining us from? Brian, let us know that. Give me Coco SoCal checking in. Ara, Semper Fi, my friend. Let's hear. Let's see if you can throw us a question. King Neptune, 420, is that what that says? Any advice for future officers? What should the relationship be between NCOs and the officers? Awesome question. King Neptune. Awesome. So, again, depend on who you ask, but that relationship between the officer and the enlisted is one of, you can even call it a marriage. We've used that term before in the field, like the platoon sergeant and the platoon commander. It's a system that all the services use. You have the staff sergeant, the E6, has the OJT and experience. They marry him or her up with an officer that just spent 4 years in college, NROTC, some kind of military training, OCS, TBS, all the schools that they need to have gone to become an officer in the United States military. But they just don't have the experience yet. So what we like to say as enlisted, and especially senior enlisted, is the experience and the book knowledge married together makes for a perfect relationship to accomplish the mission. And that's back to the leadership I was just getting ready to talk to. Sometimes officers forget that the staff sergeant or the gunnery sergeant, and then later in their career, the first sergeant or sergeant major, the master guns that they're now working with, they forget about the years and decades of experience, and they think that, well, I read it in the book and this is how it's supposed to be. So all that being said, I got to tell you, I've never had a bad relationship where I'm the officer, I'm in charge, and you will listen to me. I think it's been equal. It's got to be part of your character as well to be able to work with and have different opinions than your boss. The officers, back to your original question, the role of the officer, he's in charge. He makes the plans, he makes the organizations, and he or she is ultimately in charge. As a senior enlisted advisor, You advise just that. So you're the go-between, the officer and the men and women of that unit. So great relationship. Advice, listen to the staff NCOs, work together. Carlos, you're a photographer.
No, answered your question.
The other combat related one. So combat engineers and combat camera. There it is. That's it. Carlos. Very good. Robert said it. Big O said it. Combat photographer. Yep. McMap instructor. Marine Corps Martial Arts. Doberman, there you at. Checking in, buddy. Good to see you, Dobie. Thanks for showing up. All right. So kind of touched on leadership, touched on the uniforms, and what was the other one? So Christmas is coming up. That's why we started doing a little while about Christmas gifts, what's good, some ideas you have for Christmas gifts. The Marine getting ready to graduate boot camp, what kind of gift would he want? Or she. So there's tons of ideas. I think it's easy. My family had it so easy all these years to buy me stuff because anything Marine related, anything weapon related, any kind of motivation. But like what? Now I'm older. I like stuff for my truck, right? License plate frames, steering wheel covers, a big 50 cal bullet for as an antenna. All those are easy and great gifts. Stuff for the man cave if you have one. Still waiting on my man cave. Anything Marine related, or if you work in a desk now, a nice little desk with your name on it, your rank insignia, something to continue serving. I told you I wear Marine stuff now more than ever. When you're active duty, you don't seem to wear it as much because you live it. You're wearing camis every single day. Once I retired, then I want that shirt. That shirt looks cool. And I just started searching around all the different organizations that serve the shirts. The what? That is a beautiful Doberman on there. Dobie, is that your current dog, he or she? What's the dog's name? How old? We love Dobermans. We have a couple. Some are smarter than others. Some are more trained than others. Kingpin, Older King, Big B. My son that's about to graduate last year bought me an NCO sword for Christmas. One day soon, I hope to give it back. Awesome gift. That is amazing. I just got kind of chicken skin thinking about it. It's funny, when my daughter became an NCO, I gave her an NCO sword. And she's still using it today. Awesome gift. Yes. So get on him. Big B, train him. Teach him how to be an NCO. Bryce, Lima Company 3-2 spent 90 days at Quantico. Field operations, aggressing officer candidates. Good duty. That would be awesome. Thrashing some officer candidates as much as you can, getting on them, because they are future leaders. So what better way to train them? We did have a couple conversations about OCS, how the Marines enlisted, train the officers. Indeed, she is with me. What's her name, Dobie? 420 says, I collect cars and several of them are my videos. Let's see some of the cars. What kind of cars do you collect? 420. Doberman Pack's dog's name is God's Grace. And she's got my 6. Awesome girl, 7 years. Awesome. Good to hear. We have a Gracie. Her name is Gracie. She's a blue Doberman. Still kind of wondering what her parents did for a living. Because she is on Instagram. She's a different, beautiful, beautiful dog. Good thing, because she's not that smart. Our other one is old Coco. We talked about her before on the channel, and she is an amazing dog. The smartest and best dog we've ever had. My whole life, even as a kid. She's incredible. Getting old. She's about 13 now. 14. And then now we have a new addition because of our daughter, the Marine, brought him to us. Mattis, he's been on the channel. He's still learning as well. He's a pain in the butt, is what he is. Big B, he's been training since he was born. all three of my boys, but the other two wear hearing aids and have severe hearing loss. Can't join. Unfortunate. Wow. That's I didn't know if that was a disqualifier. Obviously, it must be. I know after you get in, you start losing your hearing, then they'll provide it. But on enlistment, it's too bad. A patriotic family, obviously, though. Big B, keep it up, buddy. Nice work. He's got a what? Michael, I've been taking care of my brother for like a whole life, even though he's a sergeant in the Corps, he always looks up to me. I feel like, but he hasn't been going to work with me. Take him to work, but I keep taking care of him. He's a sergeant. Where does he work? What does he do? Sergeant always looks up to me. I feel like, but he hasn't been going to work with me. Or what do you do, Michael? Chala, hit a new PR recently, getting after it. PR on what? Which one? Pull-ups, crunches, planks? What was your PR? Get ready. Better on to improve the PFT. Better run. So here's the thing on running. I'm kind of a bigger guy. I'm not great. Sometimes I have Big O's on here. He can attest to that. I had to drag him through a couple marathons on my back. But as much as I love to run, I'm not that great, but that's just the thing. I love to run. I've done a few marathons. I could run every day. And that's how much I love it. But to improve my PT, I've never scored a 300 PFT. The fastest I've run is 18:30, 2 times. Once in boot camp and once in DI school. Never got that perfect score, 18 minutes. Didn't stop me though. I continued to run, and I'm good for a high first class PFT. But everyone always would tell me that sprints improve your 3-mile run. And I haven't tried it enough to see if that improved my run. I just love to run. So much that I'll run short distances and then kind of decide to do a marathon at last minute. Again, Big O can attest to that. And I'll just go out there. I don't know if it's, I like the pain, the sick and twisted part of me, talking about the DIs, where I just love to thrash my body and see if I can survive and how long it takes me to recover. But I love to run. But improving your PT, your run time, to me would just be do it more. Just continue to run. Continue to run. Time yourself. Get that perfect 3-mile course and maybe try for that PR once a week. I know pull-ups, I'm a huge believer in the best way to get pull-ups, better than pull-ups, is to do them. You work so many different pull-ups, muscles during pull-ups, that you're not going to overwork just your biceps and they'll never recover. That's not true with pull-ups because you're working so many different muscles. So they can be done every day. Another daughter of mine, junior in high school in JROTC, and that's what she wanted to do, improve her pull-ups. She comes home from school. We have pull-up bars right across the street. She would continue to go there day after day on her own. She just go and practice them. She just did and she couldn't do any in the very beginning, barely a smidgen of one like some of them kids in boot camp. Barely even pull her body weight up. Now she's doing 4 solid pull-ups, and it's been a couple weeks, a month maybe. Not that long. So improve pull-ups by doing more pull-ups. As many as you can, as often as you can. Michael, work at Amazon. Awesome. All right. Might have some questions for you later, Michael. We want to start using it. Yeah. I like the physical stuff, inbound, receiving, and heavy stuff, which is called non-con, which is non-viable, one belt. So a lot of physical work, Michael. That's what I'm thinking you're doing. I would like that as well, and constantly moving, not behind a desk. That's the kind of work that I need to do all the time. Can't sit still for too long. You can ask my wife that as well. Like to keep moving, like to be outside, like to be around people, like to learn new things every day and exert my energy every day. Maybe that's what's wrong with our dog. He needs to exert more energy all day, every day. And it's jobs like that that I think if I wasn't going to be a Marine, I wanted to be a firefighter. And then a postal worker was always on my mind, because I wanted to wear shorts and walk all day long. Chala, plank now, 327 on a plank. Very nice. And hit a deadlift of 405. Okay, you're doing everything you need to do, Chala. That's it, run, right? I think your upper body strength, your core strength, with those PRs, you're right on track. And you're getting all the knowledge you need by being on this channel. So definitely guide, company honor man. You should graduate boot camp as a Lance Corporal. Are you going in as a PFC? Do you have a contract PFC yet? Let us know about that. I can't remember if we talked about one yet or not. We've talked about, getting, someone asked, can you graduate boot camp as a Lance Corporal, E3? And you absolutely can. Graduate as the company honor man. You do that by being a guide. 6 platoons. Each platoon has a guide. They compete for series honor man, 3 down to 1-1 on each side, lead series and trail series. And then those 2 recruits battle to see who's the number 1 in the entire company. And that recruit will get promoted 1 time. So if you go to boot camp already a PFC in E2 and you graduate the company honor man, Lance Corporal. All right, we talked about Goldman, our Lance Corporal time and grade. Carlos says, any giveaways? I need a Christmas gift. Funny you said that. We have 2 shirts left in inventory. 2 shirts left in inventory right now. And you see that little M on there that I was wearing the shirt. Here's a giveaway right here. Great question, Carlos. And it will be a Marine Corps question at the end of this live. So be ready. Bust out your Google. Bone up on your Marine Corps knowledge. And we'll definitely be giving that one away here very soon. Want to be a police officer after the Marine Corps, became a firefighter in the city of Compton. Awesome. In the city of Compton. Awesome. And police officer was on my list as well. And a lot of Marines, it seemed like when I was on the drill field, all the Marines that got out during that time all became the chief of police of San Diego, the assistant chief of police in San Diego. They all went to be cops immediately after that. And I've always wanted to do that too. Still watch Cops every day. Can you accept gifts? The gift of you being here. That's the only kind of gift we want. We want you to be a part of this community. Share this community with as many people as you can. That would be gift enough. Thank you for asking. Freddie Garcia, Sergeant Major, you were my first sergeant during our Iraq deployment. 2-5 Golf Company. Abra. Semper Fi, brother. What do you do now? And glad you're on the channel. Great to see you. Great to hear from you. Loved the time in 5th Marines. Hiram says, the current standards I've been given in order to compete with MARSOC Foundation are 15 sets of 130 push-ups. Current PR at 3.1 miles, 1926, which is great. 1930 is a good marker to shoot. Oh, with boots. That is very good. Hopefully 27 pull-ups at some point. Keep after it. Now, those are all good scores and times. You are a beast mode. Continue. Whatever you're doing now, like I say, is keep doing it. That was a post I want to talk about. We just talked about protein and supplements and creatine. And it was a younger kid that asked me, what should I be taking? I'm taking this and that. He named some stuff I never even heard of. And my answer was hard work. At your age, he was 15 or 16 years old. Depending on where you read, your body's not done forming to late 20s. Some say early 20s. That's, I guess, when you can assess your body. Everybody's body is different. I didn't have any supplements when I was growing up, even the first few years in the Marine Corps. Then I got introduced to protein and then creatine, and I tried it for a little while. I didn't see much gain except a lot of money going out and just consistency in the gym and hard work and motivation. There was, what pre-workout do you take? Maybe not at my age, I could use some pre-workout, but unnecessary when you're young. So that was the other one we got a lot of comments on, which is great. 2-5 DHS. Man, remember those days? I can tell you, I still keep in contact with about 3 or 4 guys from that deployment. Staff Sergeant Lett, if you remember him. Awesome Marine. Chala, my career paths all include some sort of public service, military, first responders, etc. I guess that's something in me. You're born with it, Chala, keep after it. Taking EMT at the moment as well. There's nothing I can do for you, Chala. We need to learn from you. Get after it. Keep getting after it. Remember, something on the short, supplements are just that, supplements. They supplement your grind and hard work. Amen. So it's, again, I look at it as I don't eat enough protein throughout the day in the food I get. So, and that's what I do. I supplement protein in my diet. But again, hard work, determination, consistency, days off, right? Rest day. Talked about that. What is this rest muscle and how do I work it? Because there is no days off. I never schedule a day off because sometimes things happen in your schedule where a day off just happens, which recently happened to me. In fact, I didn't get a workout today. So if I would have scheduled one for yesterday, that would have been 2 days of no workout. So no days off, no rest. All right, Roy Chess. Do you think some of the other military branches try to emulate Marine Corps drill instructors in their boot camp? Is that a trick question? Am I on punk right now? Yes, they want to be like us, as in other branches do not want to appear soft. I do in all seriousness, but they do have different missions. So does the Air Force boot camp need to be like Marine Corps boot camp? No, completely different mission. Our instant willing obedience to orders that we beat into the recruit's head is because they're going to be Marines in battle that have to react like that. So that's the difference. The Air Force mission is different. Army is similar. I firmly believe the Army can turn it up a little bit in boot camp. Strangely enough, Coast Guard changed their boot camp about 10 or 12 years ago. I don't know, but theirs is tough. And if you don't know about the Coast Guard, their mission is tough when they are called to mission. So I like that theirs is tough. Navy, I'm not sure about, but except from what I've seen in YouTube, and all of them, the first day or two seems pretty stressful. That's that culture shock that they got to, you're in a new world now. And then it kind of mellow out. And then it becomes the mentor teacher, and sit down, let's talk about how you feel right now and how can you get better, and we need you to do this. Marine Corps just doesn't light up until you get to the top of the Reaper and you become a Marine. So it's different. Army is the most similar out of them all, says E. Woods. Again, the videos I saw, just like I was saying, it is stressful in the very, very beginning, but then it tends to, from what I've seen, it tends to kind of mellow out just a little bit. Marine drill instructors are sick and twisted the entire time, is the difference. Carla says, my son graduated last year from Navy basic training, and they don't march very well. Their platoon guide carries a sword. Told my son Marines can't touch a sword until NCO. That's right, NCO sword. Even in a Marine Corps ball situation, the only ones in the sword detail are NCO and above. For that reason right there. Semper Fi. That's that fanatical part about being a Marine. Michael says, my brother was part of the 9th Communication Battalion in Afghanistan. 9th Com in Afghanistan. I don't know where they were when we were over there. Big B, the Reaper. We know where you want. We know where you went to boot camp. That's right. And boot camp and drill instructor. If the secret's not out yet, yes, I'm a Hollywood Marine. And I got miles and miles on the Reaper and Mount Mother and every other hill on Camp Pendleton, California. 2-5, the 5th Marines was out there. We've hiked every ridge line and creek bed possible. And I loved all of it. Angel says, Navy is a sea. They don't march like an Army. Good point. Does the Navy really need to march like Marines? Yeah, I mean, they do ceremonies as well. There's so much, ceremonies are pretty cool. The Navy, if you've never been to a Navy change of command or retirement, they do it up. They do it really nice. I like the way they do their ceremonies. Air Force as well. If you've never been to an Air Force ceremony, like, again, promotion or relief and appointment, They do it up. And then the party afterward. Air Force, again, they have the best restaurants and clubs and money, and they go big. Gifts, like everybody there gets a gift. They're all dressed up. They go in their evening dress. They know how to do that and take care of their airmen. So very good. Good on them. Big B says, the fact that I know that means you can tell where I went. That's right. Hollywood Marine. Suntan lotion, sunglasses. We know the deal. Different. Is there a difference? In my family alone, we got an East Coast Marine and a West Coast Marine. Of course, the West Coast is better. However, having been on Parris Island, I'm glad I wasn't there. I have no discipline to not scratch a sand flea, and I would have been thrashed daily because of that. But did they get the same treacherous hikes as they did? Because not only does San Diego, not only do we march the mountains, we also go to the beach and march on the sand. So Parris Island can't talk about this. We march in sand. So does San Diego on the beach. Parris Island, 15 July 1980, Pale Rider. Hurrah! All right, 1980. Young guy. Love it. The difference is, again, both coasts. I like when someone said, it doesn't matter where you were born as long as you're a Marine. Kilo, June 30, 93, November 92, August 2000. Semper Fi Big B. Sun is at Parris Island. Again, East Coast, West Coast, whatever the side of the Mississippi you're from, that's where you go. What I wanted to do is eventually, again, I just ran out of time in the Marine Corps, but I wanted to be a drill instructor on the East Coast and Parris Island to see the difference. Suntan lotion. Face turquoise, that's right. Carlos, son just won a first deployment. He's part of the silent service. Son told me he is as close as being a Marine. He is a submariner. Those guys, I knew a couple submariners. They are definitely a different breed. Tell me, you to live under the water like that for months. I don't know what the longest they stay down there, but with no daylight, no sunlight, you don't get to see the light of day. In that submarine, if you're claustrophobic, it probably wouldn't work out well for you. Big B, son is at Parris Island, South Carolina. Freddie, Sergeant Major, remember you used to love taking us golf company on runs during the 31st Mew. I'm telling you, any climb, any place, love the Mew. The Mew was great. Okinawa, Guam, remember being on Guam. The 31st Mew was pretty awesome. Korea, we kind of had some Liberty incidences there. Of course, that's what the infantry does. Suntan lotion for Chef Bob, and I can't wait for you to cook for us, Bob. One day we got to get together. Some of that barbecue. I knew a submarine in Bible college. They're always weird guys. It's one way to put it. I didn't want to call them weird, but they're definitely a different breed to live under the water like that in a submarine. E. Wood says, as an Air Force Com E8 in Afghanistan, I worked alongside Marine Com Gunny. Some difference in culture, but both very professional in our MOS. Well, I hear you. Again, and as much as that rivalry goes back and forth, how many bad stories have you heard about? I mean, there's probably been some fights over the course of course, if alcohol is involved, and then it gets ugly. But we can talk trash all day long, but when it comes to that one team, one fight, it's amazing. We're all service members fighting for one common good, and with God on our side, it works out, I want to say 100% of the time. So love that rivalry. Say again? You would? You never claim your shirt from the first one? We need your home address, right? Email us. DM us on Twitter or Instagram, eWoods, so we can get your email address to get your home address to send you your shirt that you won. Many submariners end up working nuclear power plants. We combat engineers build them. Again, different breed, those submariners. They used to come to Hawaii a lot of times. Anderson Ho, for everyone, I highly recommend visiting the National Museum of the Marine Corps in Quantico. There are a lot of interesting interactive exhibits and free parking and admissions. Been there a couple of times myself, Anderson, and I concur 100%. An awesome, awesome museum. In fact, any museum you can find throughout the Marine Corps. MCRD has a pretty cool one in San Diego. So anytime you can visit one, tons of history. Always look for, obviously, the combat operations I've been on, see what kind of history they have, that things that I didn't know about my own deployment. JTB, 1046, Bravo Company, MCRD 94. Hurrah! That was it. That was the platoon right there, 1046. Hiram, I can tell this much. A sailor needs to know the purpose of the starboard and port more than most O3XX Marines. A pilot needs to know that more than a sailor. Anyone underwater must know it best. So port and starboard. And I remember in boot camp how they told us to remember that, because that is on our test of naval terminology. Port has 4 letters. That's how we learn stuff. 4 letters for port. That's the left side. And I still remember that to this day. Always wanted to see TAPS at 8th and I. You know, Bryce, I was able to see that in the first sergeant's course. They sent us there. We spent a couple of days at 8th and I, and that was one of the things we did see was TAPS, and it's awesome. They do the echo TAPS, and I've heard it before, but this, for some reason, this was different, maybe because we're at 8th and I, the history of that place. And the second bugler playing TAPS, we didn't even know where he was. It turns out he was on the roof somewhere. And that echo TAPS was awesome. Loved it. Being a cook at MCRD San Diego was fun. I got to imagine any other job on MCRDs, either one, for the Marines that work around recruits all the time, could probably be pretty interesting. As a drill instructor, sometimes we'd have to get mad at the Lance Corporal, the salty Lance Corporals that were trying to be drill instructors, act like drill instructors to the recruits. Those we had to put in check, but everyone else was pretty cool. It was fun. Can veterans visit Marine Corps and Navy bases? Absolutely, 100%. They're actually open to the public as well. Might be a different cost, I'm guessing,
To go on base?
to visit the museums.
They just said visit Marine Corps Navy bases.
To visit bases. So yes, you have to have an ID. Again, I imagine some bases may be a little different, but as long as you have an ID and you can sign in at the main gate, if you're driving, driver's license, insurance, registration, all that stuff. But yes. JTB, thanks for the shirt. Love it. Semper Fi, brother. Glad you got it. Charlie, I want to also bring to your attention, if you do not know already, to Taylor Yance on YouTube, a gunnery sergeant recruiter who does amazing videos. Love that recruiters use social media to their advantage. I do as well. Taylor Yance. We'll check it out. Big B, got to drop, got to leave for PS in the morning. Semper Fi, brother, again, congratulations to you and the entire family. We'll see you soon. Keep on the channel, keep watching, and keep making the Marines. Ever. Mark Carlos, they allowed me on base at Quantico. So I think as long as you're legit, your driver's license, your car registration, insurance, all that stuff, I don't think anyone will get turned away. If you're 100% civilian, you probably have to have someone sign you on. You have to be with the veteran, 100%. The bakery was a challenge at MCRD San Diego. We didn't get no baked goods at San Diego. What are you talking about? For the permanent personnel, maybe. Recruits don't need that stuff. Frank Hernandez, Sergeant Major, you were one of my instructors in Sergeant's course in '99. I still remember when you said to turn your camis inside out so the camis last longer. Amen. Semper Fi, brother. That was a long time ago. That '99, and that was when I first got there. That's when Sergeant's course was still kind of a haze-X. So if I hazed you in any way, I apologize now. That was just a thrash session. I felt like I was getting hazed by the instructors as an instructor. I'm glad to see they toned it down a little bit, but that was some good times. Frank, good to see you on here, brother. Semper Fi. Angel, the 420 Network. I feel like I saw you when I was a private. The 420. Oh, yeah, the 420 is also on here. Sergeant's course.
What's your first uniform?
Whole new facility now in Okinawa, the Staff NCO Academy, brand new. It's beautiful. Back to uniforms. Who's got some cool uniform tips? Now, that was good training. I'm telling you, Frank, I love that time in Sergeant's course. I ended up staying there at the academy 3+ years and left as the chief instructor for the career course. I actually got promoted out of there. Uniform tips. That's the other one we were talking about earlier. Let us know some uniform tips that you had growing up in the Marine Corps. I remember when we had the buttons in the old woodland style camis, you would press them out. That's when we starched the heck out of them. You couldn't even walk. You had so much starch, heavy starch. It was uncomfortable. But I remember I would cut out cardboard, the shape of the pocket flaps, so I can press it even harder, right? Make it flat as absolutely possible. But you had to put that cardboard in there or it would burn the buttons would burn the material. So I'd have all these cut out cardboard shape of my pocket. And my wife kept telling me, quit cutting up my cardboard. But also, hey, that should be a design that someone makes, a non-flammable material that you shove under the pockets when you press your camis. And I think the Mama Sans in Okinawa figured that out as well. Because if you pressed it too many times, they would start to see little holes where the pockets were. But any other uniform tips that anyone has on there? Chala, pay attention so you can be squared away all the time. Carlos says, does the Marine Corps still issue dog tags at boot camp? My son told me Navy doesn't give the dog tags anymore. Do you know anything about this and why? I know my daughter got hers and she was just 5 years ago. I haven't heard that they didn't or they don't. It'd be a shame if they do. 420 says, Stoner Bob says, don't be cheap, have extra everything. Funny you say that, because back in IG inspection days, how many pairs of underwear and shirt and socks and remarked and had tons of everything because they'd be inspecting it. Big O says, make sure to cut the instructions off and press the Eagle Globe and Anchor on before ironing them on. How many times did you do that? I may have done it once. The old camis, again, they didn't come with the embroidered Eagle Globe and Anchor. It was an iron-on, small little piece of thin paper with the iron-on and the instructions on how to iron it on. Problem was the instructions were in the same material as the iron-on. So if you press that whole thing on there and you went over the words, you would have the instructions, Eagle Globe and Anchor, USMC, and more instructions. So that is a huge tip for the older guys. Some of us may have done that once or twice, and there's no getting it off, ever. Robert says, number your blouse and trousers so they fade evenly and they're not mismatched, so you don't have more faded blouse and trousers. Awesome, Robert. And the cover. Everyone likes to not wash their cover because, again, you spend all that time making it look sharp. But very good tip. I remember we did it in boot camp. Ours was, we used the alphabet AA, BB somewhere on the inside, so you wear them and wash them at the same time. I didn't do that after I left boot camp for some reason, once those faded out. But definitely later on in my career when I was trying to save uniforms, I definitely wore them at the same time and washed them together. And your cover. But yes, always have something good on hand. Anderson says, camel green and desert cover, only wash in water with down, dish soap, and dry out in the sun. Hang dry with a clip on a clothes hanger, nice and stiff later, and it smells better than before. That's a great tip, and that's something else. I would never dry my cover. The cover, for some reason, you put it in the dryer, sometimes it messes with the bill, and it gets it even more wrinkly. So great tip, Anderson. Again, I used to do the same thing. Put my camis in the dryer, but I'd pull my cover out and I would wrap her, I'd spray some starch on it and let it air dry. Always seemed to be easier to form later with an iron. Carlos had an extra for everything, for inspection only, never used them. Again, during those IG days, I think a lot of us did the same thing after we spent so much money on, again, tons of underwear, tons of socks, tons of green t-shirts, white t-shirts, black socks. But eventually over the course of years, I remember I'll just pull one shirt out. I'll just wear this. I'll replace it. And never did. And all that stuff was gone. Luckily, however, there's no more of those IGs that waste a lot of time, in my opinion, and a lot of money. So, but it's good to have extra on hand just in case for those times something happens to the uniform you're wearing. Or you run out of socks. T-shirt fades. Roll a mile in my wheels. Hey, sir, I'm an honorary member of the Marine unit in Georgia by order of the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Amos. My question is, what is your advice to earn the respect of Marines within my unit? So you're an honorary Marine. I've been attached with the current unit for 12 years now. So there's not many honorary Marines, period. We talked about that the other day in the video. Arlie Ermy was the first retired Marine to receive an honorary promotion. He was a Marine, but he received an honorary promotion. So how'd you get the honorary title? To be a Marine would be my first question. And then easy, how do you earn the respect of Marines? Because Marines are gonna be, well, he never went to boot camp, he's not a Marine, why does he get to wear the uniform? You obviously have been doing something right and something pretty freaking awesome to receive that honor. So to me, that's respect enough that I would have toward you. You're gonna have some hard-headed ones out there that you're gonna have to prove yourself to, I think, as long as you maintain Marine Corps standards, height, weight, haircut, physical fitness, education. I don't see a problem with it at all. But congratulations to you. Love to hear more about that. JTB, you taught us recruits to cut the patch and always put your bootlaces in the left boot. You remember that? JTB, never in my life had I lost a pair of boot bands. Never. Whole life, after the Marine Corps, JROTC, never lost a pair because I put them in my left boot as soon as I take them off. And I remember a kid asked me, he's like, you have the same pair of boot bands in boot camp? No, I've worn them out before and had to replace them, but I've never lost a pair of boot bands. Put them in your left boot. Amen to that. Awesome. Here, okay, uniform tips. Don't be like me and use shirt stays on your civvy shirts and your utilities. Just causes that cute. Just because it's cute and helps me doesn't mean it's good. Some kind of military exercise, it can come off. Don't use shirt stays on your civvies shirts. So I may have done that once or twice in a suit, not in just a regular t-shirt and jeans or anything, but I do use them on a suit whenever I wear a suit. So a good tip. And it does look cute. Mark says, wrap those inspection skivvies, socks, t-shirts, and plastic saran wrap in between inspections to prevent yellowing. Awesome tip, because that did happen to me years later. I dug into my white t-shirts that I've been saving since my first IG. Went to pull it out, pull it out and put it on, and sure enough, it had a yellow tint to it. So very good tip. Awesome. Michael says, I remember my brother Seabag graduating from San Diego, MCRD. I carried it to the hotel after the graduation. It sucked, and then I bought a 30-pack of Coors Lights and got him drunk. Amen. Michael, perfect gift right there. Couldn't ask for nothing better than that. Carlos, wow, I forgot that I did that too about the boot bands. Thanks. Obviously, they taught me in boot camp. Never lost them. And I've seen another good tip for the boot bands is I see Marines wrap it around their boot after they take their boot off. Take the boot band off and wrap it around and clip it on the boot. I'm sure that's a good way too to never lose a set of boot bands. But I don't understand how Marines would lose their boot bands. Roll a Mile says, I was born with spina bifida and use a wheelchair. Was never allowed to join the right way. Amen, brother. I'm telling you, you are a good person of character and honor, and somebody saw it in you. Awesome to hear. What a great, great story, and congratulations on you and Semper Fi, brother. That says, Gary says, What are a couple of the main differences between Army and Marine Corps when it comes to battle drills and during tactical operations? Very good question. Here's the biggest thing I see the difference is, especially the infantry. We're all infantrymen. We're getting somewhere. We have the same mission: kill the enemy, destroy, and create havoc and win wars. Army's very good at that as well. They, of course, have numbers, right? So their quality, their quantity, they have always bigger numbers than us. But the one tactical fact that I think personally, the difference between the two is Army uses land navigation a whole lot more than us. They train for it at least a whole lot more than Marines, longer distance, and a lot more emphasis on land navigation as a whole. Now, Marine special units, of course, are masters at it. And then the rope bridge. Again, Marines have special operations. They go learn places in the Mike 7 Alphas, and they do a lot of rope work. But those are special circumstances. Infantry use that to retrieve people and use it for whatever case it may be. But the Army as a whole uses ropes more, and they land nav a whole lot more. Those are the two big differences. Again, that rivalry is going to be there forever. Who's better than who? We all know this in Marine Corps. But it's the fighting forces, the tactics, our missions, same. My personal opinion. But the tactical operations part of it, again, those are two things that stand out in me that I just, over the years, I've realized, because I've done some Army land nav courses, and they're harder. They're usually farther distances. And of course, we want to ace it. I've been on the Marine or the Army rifle range course and blew that out of the water. I'm like, that's it. We have a fortified position with support for the rifle. This is too easy. But then I would do their land nav. I was like, wow, this is really a challenge for me. This is different. So not a whole lot, I think, is my answer. Big B, I never lost a boot band either, but I used the metal springs like one. You know what? I tried those for a while. The big fat spring. I guess it wasn't too fat. The spring. I got kind of big ankles. Maybe I would have to stretch it out a little. I could never get the right fit. It was too tight. If I didn't adjust it, then I would never adjust it. I stretch it out. They didn't work for me. What I do is I double up the boot bands. So I interweave the green old-fashioned boot band. So I wear two on each leg, and that holds my trousers just fine. Marine sees beachheads and airports, armies, occupy countries. So another good question. Marines are amphibious, and we have all the assets to attack the beachhead. And in an easy way to put it, when I'm talking a little trash, Marines go in, secure the area, kill everybody in sight, lay everything all out, make it safe, and then the Army comes in and occupies. They occupy and maintain the security, and they build the camps and everything involved to hold that fortified ground area as long as we need to. They have a big footprint, and they maintain security after the Marines came in and seized it. First to fight is one of our mottos. That allows us to get back on ships and get ready to go fight somewhere else. Bryce, we trained with the 82nd frequently, 82nd and 101st, two awesome Army units. Army had better gadgets. Army has all the new gadgets. We get our stuff from, once the Army's done with it, we get their Humvees, their weapons, all their stuff that they're done with, and they get new stuff. Biggest difference, I think, from Big B is the Marine Corps trains you from day one. You're in charge. Whereas the other services always got to ask someone else. I see that too. As a Marine right out of boot camp, you are a leader. Automatically, you're a leader, you're in charge of somebody. I want to see some leadership skills and abilities from you right now. We're not waiting till you get promoted. Marines march as one, and Army bebops when marching. I get seasick watching the Army march. So I got to believe that our drill is, again, that's the whole part of the Marines being fanatical, and that's about everything we do. So I feel the same. Semper Fi from Brazil. Thiago, welcome from Brazil. Awesome. Glad you're here. Roy Chess says, is there a significance in the way Marines roll their uniform sleeves as the other branches roll them up sleeves differently? I'm going to do a video on that specifically, but to answer your question, yes, Army, I believe, still does they call it the NBC roll, where they fold it one time and they flip it. So an NBC attack, you got to protect your skin. Boom, you just roll the sleeves down. Here's what Marines do. Anytime we go in combat, we go in with our sleeves down. So when we're in garrison back on base, we roll them nice and neat, nice and sharp, looks good, let you see our guns. So we do roll them different though. Gary says, I've noticed since the War on Terror, the Marine Corps seriously increased their game when it came to gear and assets. Amen to that. I'm trying to keep up with the times. We're a smaller branch. We have a smaller batch of money, but I think we are using it in the right areas now, and it took us years to do that because we were used to getting the hand-me-downs from the Army, the stuff that they didn't like or didn't hold up. They would give it to us for a while. But I think you're right. I agree with you. Marines are getting high, top quality gear now for all the right reasons. Chris says, Marines march, Army sings and dances. I got to tell you, true, and the Army has some pretty cool cadences. If you haven't seen or heard them bebopping down the street, it is pretty motivating. But you're right, Marines march. The 5 purposes of drill. We take that, again, seriously, where we need to learn how to use individual weapons. Provide leadership for the unit leader and confidence in bearing in him, moving from one unit or one place to another in an organized fashion and getting combat formations out of a marching formation. So all very important. JTB, could you tell me what you remember from your last cycle as a DI? Oh, my first cycle. My first cycle as a DI. So the first cycle it was tough. I was brand new, green belt, still learning. I didn't take my full leave days after DI school because I was so anxious to get across the street and be a drill instructor. So a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes. And I would sit in my free time, even then, I would sit in the duty hut. I would go to other duty huts to learn how to drop a recruit, transfer a recruit. So a lot of learning in my first cycle. But I remember it was very successful. We had a very good platoon. The senior was great. I remember I was on the rifle range. I also had my annual training. I had to go on the rifle range. One of the things I remember is as I was leaving, one of the recruits said, "Good luck, shooter." The recruit called me shooter instead of just the fact that he was talking to me like that. And I lost my freaking mind because he said, "Good luck, shooter," like we were buddies, like we were back on the block. Hey, good luck, shooter. And I wore his butt out pretty significantly and then shot like crap the next day because he messed with my head so much. But I love that cycle. That was a great learning experience for me. That was re-greened me, is what I call it. Re-motivated me to want to stay in forever and continue training Marines. Chris says, Marine drill instructors earn the Smokey Bear. What about the Army drill sergeants? They wear it as well. I don't know the significance behind theirs. I don't know the history of it, but they do wear a campaign cover, is what it's called. I'm not even sure what they wear on the front, probably an Army logo on the very front. But yes, Marines earn the Smokey Bear. JTB, we took top drill with Sergeant Newton. So there you go. You remembered. Sergeant Newton was an awesome senior drill instructor on his last cycle, if you remember that. I don't know if he shared that with y'all or not, but Sergeant Newton definitely killed it in final drill. He was not a favorite to win that in everything. Drill means everything on the depots, both sides. What senior is going to take final drill is the entirety of boot camp. Who's going to take it? And he was amazing on it. Definitely killed it. That was fun. 420 Network says, be well, my family of Marines. Semper Fi, brother, you out of here? Stoner Bob, Semper Fi, brother. Gary, what was more intense for you, being a DI or a recruiter? So I was never a recruiter. I wanted to be. Yeah, so I did do a short about recruiters. And yeah, maybe it got chopped up, but here's my experience of being a recruiter. I wasn't one. I was never officially a recruiter, but as a drill instructor, in between cycles, you get sometimes 3 days off or sometimes up to 10 days, summer and winter. Winter, you got bigger breaks. There wasn't as many recruits. So this was a winter cycle. We graduated. And drill instructors, if you're out there, back me up, we talk smack about the recruiters. What kind of crap are they sending us? This kid can't do a single pull-up. What are the recruiters doing out there? We don't know that fight that they're dealing with every day. We just see the product that they send to us and want us to turn them into Marines. So my first sergeant recognized our ignorance of what the recruiters go through. So in that break, we had a 10-day break. He took our whole company of drill instructors, 25 of us, to the RS San Diego, recruiting station San Diego, and we spent about 4 days with them. Day in and day out, 24/7, making phone calls, canvassing, going to high schools, malls, coffee shops, being rejected, being turned down, being talked bad to, being disrespected, and still trying to make quota and get young men and women to join the Marine Corps. So, which is more stressful, which is harder? Again, I didn't do them both, but I got to tell you, those recruiters go through hell and back to get the body sent to San Diego or Parris Island. So shout out to them. Chris, any tips besides repetition to help remember all the units you get attached to over the course of your career? Yeah, that's what my wife does. She reminds me of all that. But duty assignments, I've never forgotten one of them. Maybe attachments and who you served with, and maybe if it wasn't a long period of time, that may, a little foggy memory on all those. But I don't think you'll ever forget duty stations you got assigned to. Not sure if that's what you're asking. Here, says fundamentally the Marine Corps or naval-borne infantry is always needed for rapid deployments, first to fight. Earliest known still in existence is Spain. Each MEF is in a mini military in of itself, and that's right. So the Marine Corps can deploy the fastest. If there's a crisis somewhere, Marines can get there 24, 48 hours with all the assets we need to accomplish a mission. That includes medical support, ammo, any kind of supply and logistics, and transportation to get there. We can self-sustain ourselves, get to the fight immediately. Again, the Army comes in massively with numbers and secures the area and creates that footprint to maintain the security. So big difference here, and thank you. Freddie says, Sergeant Major, why we always go on hikes for 96s? What else you want to do in the hills of San Mateo when you're with 5th Marines, the most decorated battalion in the Marine Corps? We go on hikes. Love it. Yeah, and we want to get you tired so you don't get in trouble on your 96. Training. Come back, and we usually have a hike as soon as you come back from 96, just to make sure. Hurrah. Roy just says, is there such a thing as different ways to salute? I know some branches salute a bit different, that a hand position differs, as many display blade of the hand. I don't think so. I think it's one salute. Difference is I do notice Navy gives kind of a hey, but I think there's one way salute. The Air Force, there's their way. Just kidding, airmen, relax. But no, I don't think so. If anyone knows, let us know. I think it's a salute is a salute. The difference is Army, Air Force, maybe they can salute without a cover. Marines cannot, ever. So indoors, you got to be on. You have to have a duty belt on, wear your cover. Then you can salute. Drill instructors are always on duty. That's why you see the drill instructors wearing the campaign cover indoors. They're on duty. You can salute indoors, but never without a cover or in civilian clothes, ever. First phase, you and Sergeant Bryant put a pillow, a plate, and toilet paper in the window for our trophies. We didn't do well. You said all we want to do is sleep, sleep and shit. It motivated us. That sounds like something I would do and say, because that's all y'all want to do. You're nasty. Luckily, we came around. Sergeant Bryant was a beast. He definitely was a beast. I think I've told that story before. He was loud, much louder than me. We're in the chow hall line, and he was chewing out some recruits for something, touching their face. so loud. I even looked over like, come on, man, you're drowning me out. I can't be as tough as you because you're louder. And all of a sudden it stopped. I was like, oh, that's cool. He's letting me get my piece in. But I looked over and he was sound asleep, standing up, yelling at the crew with his hand in their face and like inches. And he just took a quick nap, a little cat nap, and then just snapped out of it. You get your hand off your face. He didn't skip a beat. That's how intense Sergeant Bryant was. That was a great platoon. Dobie, Semper Fi My Friend. Merry Christmas. Gary, negative. One way to salute across the branches. In the Army, to salute wrongly is an NCO's wet dream. So again, the difference, are there bad salutes? Maybe all branches of service, is there men and women that do it incorrectly? I'm sure, and I've seen a little bit different variations, but I think, again, there is one way to salute across all branches. Carlos, there is a Marine Corps sharp salute, and then there are the lazy Army, Air Force, and Navy salutes. I think it's the individual, right? If you're motivated, no matter what branch you're in, you're going to have a good, sharp, snappy salute. Snap and pop. That's the individual. I think we're all taught the same exact way. So something else that we just started, the Patreon group. If you haven't seen it yet, it's something that you can join. It's in the description on a regular page. So please check that out. Join, and it's something, again, new to us, just like this platform, new, but it is something that we like to do. I'd hate to start wrapping this up already, but that was, again, another quick hour, having an awesome time with it. We still got to give a shirt out. Trivia question. I think it's going to be, excuse me, I like to do course history, drill, leadership. By the way, I stopped wearing faded camis after Staff Sergeant put me on a working party. Again, faded camis are unserviceable camis. Love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Rah. Thanks, Delvis. Are you the one that just got recently promoted? Delvis, you were on last time. Was it our last live? Remember seeing you on here? All right, history and traditions. Romeo Kilo, for sure. Leadership got to crack down on the bad mechanics. There's a reason why the Marine Corps takes drill serious. I was in the Army too, by the way. It is. And again, in boot camp, those you went to boot camp, and even OCS, the officers, drill is highly important. Even in the infantry, when they say, we're infantrymen, we don't drill, the infantry still can put on an amazing ceremony for, again, the various times we do drill. They'll say, I got selected, should pin on in March. Congratulations, brother. Again, let us know. Let us know when you get back after you pin them on. Roycha says, yeah, I asked because, I've seen some sloppy salutes. I was told there's a general salute as well. I know that because my squadron had a guy salute a general poorly. The E9 chewed out everyone. Concur. Again, it shouldn't matter, what officer you're saluting. It should be sharp. Again, I firmly believe everyone was taught in basic training the proper way to salute. The individual had like a sloppy bent finger salute and a smirk on his face. He sounds like he had more issues than just his salute. But that's all part of your character, I believe. Hurrah, Angel. Hurrah. There it is. So, again, I hate to wrap this up already. That was another great, fun hour. Appreciate everyone being here. This is what we like to do. Again, building this community, warriors, like-minded people, spreading the love. Just continue to share our channel with your friends and neighbors and patriots. I love seeing all the other services on here as well. Marines getting ready to join. Love the old timers, the stories that we get to hear and share with all of you. Leadership hints and tips. we love to hear, and physical fitness, of course. Rollamai, thank you, brother, for answering my question. I love watching your videos. They're always very informative. Thank you, brother. Again, once again, congratulations. What a great story that I can't wait to tell a little more about. Romeo Kilo says, hut. Hoorah. How about the video, the short on the differences of hoorah and era, the different way to sell it? That was pretty good too. I want to join the USMC, but I don't know if I should wait until after the election. Should I wait? No. Easy answer. You're going to regret it later, I think. I joined at 17, didn't ship out to the right when I turned 18. No regrets whatsoever. I don't recommend you wait at all. The elections, that's not going to have an impact on your experience in boot camp or the fleet immediately after. My personal opinion. Go for it. Go for it now. Be ready and get some. Get after it. Join the ranks as soon as you can. Right there, Mark said it again. Or Mark said it also. Philip, if you love your country, serve now. Semper Fi, Mark. I concur. Semper Fi, Gary. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So this new platform, again, yes, before we go, what do you think of the new platform? I know our lives have been kind of touch and go lately, and again, appreciate your support. What do you think of this platform? How's it working out? Again, let us know in the comments, but the sound, the visual, audio visual, everything. I know the background's a little boring. Again, something, an area we're trying in just to get great sound quality, sound, audio, and video. So JTB, thanks, brother. You like it? I like it. I'm a little more comfortable. You notice I do look down at the comments. I can't look at them on the device I'm looking at, so I hope that's not too distracting. Philip, just do it. Another one about Philip, to Philip. This election will be no different than the election you'll see while you're on active duty. Concur, brother. I remember throughout my whole career, followed the elections, but it never had an impact on me or my unit individually, maybe in the higher ups, but it never affected what I did as a Marine. This platform works well. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. I like it too. So far, so good. Carlos, appreciate you. I'm digging it. I think it's great. Make sure all of you hit the like button and show your support. Thanks, Delvis. Appreciate you, brother. Again, I'm not good at asking for that and visit our page and like and subscribe. And I'm not good at it. I probably should. I know a lot of people do. I'm hoping that you see the value in this and we just grow our community. We continue to grow. The subscribers continue to grow just so we can get more people informed. The Patreon group I was talking about, it's free. We're not charging a thing on it. We want you to be a part of that special group as well, especially you frequent flyers, right? We want to start putting out we're dying to put out some B-roll stuff that you'll get a kick out of, and other offers. You'll get first offer of something. If we make a new shirt, hoodie, some kind of merch, we want to get that out to you first, and that's all part of the Patreon program. So if you could check that out, we'd love to have you on there as well. Free. Damn, miss this. Just got done developing rolling film. Semper Fi. Chuck, come on, brother. What kind of film? Yeah, what kind of film are you doing? Some stuff you can't show on here? We'll do it again, Chuck. We're just trying out a new platform. We are signing off here in a couple minutes, but glad you got to see this much of it. And keep an eye on the channel. We're going to continue to do more. Just do it. Anderson Ho says, love it. Reminds me I'm not alone out here. Amen, brother. Again, that's really what it's all about. The purpose of being around each other, the language we speak, the mindset that we have, the work ethic we have, that's what this is all about. So thanks, Anderson. And definitely the new year coming right around the corner. We're going to try to get more of a calendar so you'll know every week when we're going to be live. Again, the shorts and the longs in between, but definitely get a great schedule for the lives, and then continue to work. Again, the whole mindset, the new year changing. I want to do some fitness videos. People kind of tend to shy away from those because they're like, I mean, you better get in shape and stay with your goals. But I'm try to find a new way to just motivate people to continue to train and take care of their bodies. Big B, I want a shirt like the one you're wearing now. This one is I think this is a Marine Corps Exchange one. Yeah, Marine Corps Exchange one. Again, that's our plan too, to have links in our channel down below where you can find shirts like this on Amazon. We're trying to make it easy for you. Is it true that pension is no longer an option and you simply invest in your own Roth 401k? I haven't heard that, Chris. Again, I'm an old timer. That doesn't sound right to me. Chris, thanks, Mark. Chris just said that's not accurate. I hadn't heard that. I think that'd be pretty big news, actually, because our military retirement system is pretty great the way it is now. Philip says, I want to join the infantry because I love my country and I like to fight. What are my chances of getting into the infantry? 0300 infantry, you made it. Pretty great chances. That is the biggest MOS. They need the most Marines. So don't sign the contract until you are guaranteed infantry. That's how you get it. You have a great chance, Philip. Go for it and stay with it. All right. You could, then definitely, Big B, get this shirt. Again, soon there'll be links in the comment on how to get these shirts as well. We don't make these. This has nothing to do with us. But again, great gifts for the holidays coming up. So show your wife this shirt and let her know. Wink, wink. Tim, first time catching a live chat. Brings back so many memories. Semper Fi. Hey, thanks, Tim. Again, glad you made it. Unfortunately, we are signing off here shortly, but stay tuned. Okay, get on or just watch some of our shorts. We're going to try to post and get a calendar out of our lives. This one, we kind of just went for it this evening. So, you know what? Let's try this new platform, see how it works. Got some great feedback from everybody tonight. So this might be our new platform, and we're going to continue to roll with it. All right. Already changed in 2017. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Chris, again, about the Roth IRA, I'm not sure. Engineers up, leading the way, combat engineers. All right. I think we shall time. Sign off. Trivia. Can't forget about that. Trivia question. Drill or history? We can go with an easy one of Marines. Let's go with the Marine ones. Or how about this? When was... No, we'll go with the two Marines. Two Marines now. You know where I'm going with this. Two Marines received. No, that was too easy. The Eagle Globe and Anchor. When was it adopted in the Marine Corps? The Eagle Globe and Anchor. What year was it adopted? First one to answer. Guess this. Semper Fi My Friend T-shirt. OG one. This is an old school one. When was the Eagle Globe and Anchor adopted? The official emblem of the Marine Corps. I'm looking, I'm waiting. You see? 1891, nope. 1955, you just guessed. That was a terrible guess, Delvis. The 1800s. I'll give you that clue. 1955. Yeah, maybe Google's saying that 1955. That's not even close. Google it, see what they're finding. 1800s, Mark. 1956. 1834, JTB is close.
Check your sources. Last time you were off on.
Yeah, I was off. Where's my phone? JTB, I taught you this. You should know that by now. Where's my phone? 1834. 1868, Delvis, you got it. That was it. 1868. Delvis got it. After that terrible first guess you had. Congratulations, Delvis. 1868. Boom. DM us your email address so we can email you and get your get your mailing address, and we'll get that out to you. All right, warriors, leathernecks, fellow patriots, congratulations to Delvis. Thank you all once again for your awesome, awesome support. Love doing this. Love doing the lives. Again, we'll get on a schedule. We're as busy as the rest of you, so I know if you knew when it was going to be, it'd probably help out. You can get more people on the channel, and again, continue to grow the channel, connections, and serve as many veterans and their families as we can. If by chance we don't get on another live before Christmas, we wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. Hopefully you get to spend it with family in your celebrations. Please say a prayer for the men and women who aren't going to be with their families over the holidays and over Christmas. Pray for their safety and their sanity because they can't be home. But if you can get packages to them, something so they can feel a little bit of home while they're away from home. So same in the new year. Again, bigger and better things coming for the new year. Appreciate all of you. Stay safe, stay aggressive, keep PTing, work on that leadership, and of course, close order drill. Semper Fi, my friends. Until next time. Ebra.